Hi, my 4B friends. Happy asynchronous Wednesdays, asynchronous afternoons. So what we're going to be doing today is a little bit of social studies. Some of you have already started using this Holidays Around the World packet, which was sent home in this red folder that your parents got last week. But some of you, like my cohort A kiddos, aren't going to be starting this until tomorrow. Well, there's 3 countries and 3 holidays that I want to learn about this week with you. And they're in here in this packet. So some of you already know, but some of you are just finding out that the month of December is crazy when it comes to holidays. All over the world, in November, December, and January, in the winter, colder months, there are so many holidays that people celebrate. And in first grade, we call it the Festival of Lights. All these holidays in the winter that we're going to be learning about all have to do something with light and family and being good. And so we have 3 holidays that we're going to be learning about. Every time that we go to a new country, we'll be learning about how that country celebrates their winter holidays. So for this week, we have India, we have the Netherlands, and we have Israel. This week is the start of Hanukkah, so I thought we would do Hanukkah today. So you're going to be doing the first 2 countries in our packet on your asynchronous days. But today, we are going to be flipping through our first packet, and we'll be starting on this page, Israel. We'll go to the country of Israel and learn about its winter holiday, Hanukkah. Some of you maybe know about Hanukkah, or you know somebody who celebrates it. Maybe someone in your family or even you celebrates Hanukkah. Hanukkah is a long holiday. It doesn't just last for one day. It actually lasts for several days, a little over a week, which is amazing. Okay, like I said, we are going to be flying to the country Israel. Here we are in America, in New Jersey. And if we wanted to, we could take a plane over the ocean, over Europe, over Africa. And in this teeny tiny country, they had to zoom in. It's so small. In this teeny tiny country, you see Israel. Now, Israel is known for the Jewish religion. It has a lot of Jewish people living there. Now, a religion is something that people believe in. It's what they follow. It's their faith. It's what they believe in. There's different religions, and Judaism is one religion. So a lot of Jewish people live in Israel. Israel is one of the oldest places in the world. People like to say that it's one of the original cities of the entire world. And a lot of people come here to learn about the history of the world or the history of their religion, Judaism. But once a year, for this once a year holiday, people celebrate Hanukkah. And you might have seen people lighting this set of candles, which is called a menorah. Here it is, blue. And you might have heard people celebrating with a game called dreidel. Do you know the song Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay? Well, maybe you know that festive holiday song. This is one of the games that people play to celebrate Hanukkah. So families get together every night and they celebrate this holiday by lighting the candles. Now, each candle shows one day that the Jewish people hundreds of years ago were able to survive, even though they only had enough oil to really only light one candle. Their candle lasted all throughout this long battle. So hundreds of years ago, there were these people who said, no, you aren't allowed to be Jewish. You can't believe in what you believe. You can't practice what you practice. And so they had to hide. They were very scared. And they only had enough oil to light their candle for one night. But it lasted them for several nights. And they say that it's a miracle. So every year they celebrate the miracle of Hanukkah by coming together with the family. They play games, give presents, eat lots of food, and they light their menorah. Let's learn a little bit more about Hanukkah by opening up our red folders. Now, if you look in your red folder behind your gingerbread and your and your reading log, you'll see that we have several of these holiday packets, one for each week in December. Well, the first one is going to have India on it. Make sure you write your name, and if you want, you can write the number 1 at the bottom, whichever you would like. And you'll flip through India and the Netherlands. I did this with cohort A, cohort B already. And you'll see the page of Israel. Now, Israel is its own country, but it is known for having a lot of people who practice the Jewish faith there. So here's a little boy who is Jewish, and he's going to be celebrating Hanukkah. So you can color him if you want. And then here, there's a little short, tiny story that tells you about the country and its holidays that it celebrates, like Hanukkah. There's a word bank here that you'll fill in the blank spots to kind of make the story make sense. And my favorite part is there's always a little spot here for you to draw what was your favorite part of the story we read. So let's learn a little bit about Israel's celebration of Hanukkah. Blank is a Jewish winter festival. Days, Hanukkah, gifts, menorah. Hanukkah, that's the name of the holiday. Hanukkah. Now, some of you might know that Hanukkah has a couple of different spellings, but this is the spelling that we'll be using in our little book. It lasts for 8 days. Can you believe that? It's an 8-day-long festival or holiday where family comes together. A candle is lit each night, and placed in the, do you remember what those candles were called? They were all connected. That's called a menorah. A menorah is that candle holder. Games are played and, that's our only word, and gifts are exchanged each night. So in this holiday, family comes together, they do celebrate lights, kind of like, a Christmas tree or fireworks for Diwali. Well, Hanukkah has its menorah, and they light the candles together, and they play games, eat food, and give gifts. So instead of one day of gifts, or like your birthday or Christmas and things like that, they give a little gift each night. How fun. What was your favorite part of learning about Israel and its Hanukkah? If you want, and it's holiday Hanukkah, you can draw it here. I might want to draw a menorah. Can you remember how many candles were on a menorah? If you want to also draw a menorah, how about I show you the picture? So something that I like to do is Google something if I'm not so sure. So maybe if I remember there were 8 days that it's celebrated, I was going to draw 8 candles. But the important thing is there's always that one at the top that you use to light the others. So let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and a big candle at the top. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, my picture kind of looks like an antler on a moose's head. And maybe I'll draw my flames. And you can color it any way you want. There we go. Here's my menorah. And maybe I'll draw a little dreidel. Speaking of dreidel, sorry, I just realized you weren't looking. Mine looks like antlers, doesn't it? Speaking of dreidel, I have the song here for you that you would have been learning with Miss Chen. I'll sing it to you, and if you want, you can find it on YouTube. I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, then dreidel I should play. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay. Oh, dreidel, 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 now dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body, with legs so short and thin, and when it gets all tired, it drops and then I win. Oh, dreidel, 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 with legs so short and thin. Oh, dreidel, 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 it drops and then I win. Woo! Maybe you know how to play the dreidel game where you spin it and you can earn chocolates, but maybe you just know the song. Check it out on YouTube if you want to sing along. And lastly, you'll need your shapes for this. I have a menorah here that you can use with your shape blocks. Now, normally I would say you have to color it the color of the block, but if you want, you can color this any way you like. I have here a nice pattern block of the menorah. Well, that is all you have to do in your packet today. Before I let you go, let me show you what the other links I have are. I have a little story here called How Do Dinosaurs Say Happy Hanukkah? So this is also an example of how you could spell Hanukkah, right? I said there were a couple different ways people do it. But I thought this would be fun since we already read a story called How Do Dinosaurs Stay Friends? And then, just like in your packet, I have the dreidel song here. Because I gave you a shorter version, there might be different lyrics here, which is fine. But go ahead, you can read this book and sing along. But otherwise, make sure you do your 2 pages that you have, or well, I guess 3 pages that you have in your holiday packet. My friends, I am so excited to celebrate these different holidays and fly around the world with you. Whether you already did your India and Netherlands paper, or if you're just going to be starting it tomorrow, I hope that you enjoy learning about all the different traditions and holidays and cultures around the world. Next week, we're going to be flying to some other countries, and we'll finish it off before we go to winter break with a couple of familiar holidays to some of you. All right, have a wonderful day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.